It is 4 a.m. on May 5th, 2026. The next 24 hours will serve as the ultimate stress test for 1.4 billion people. On the morning of May 4th, officials began counting 154 million ballots across 5 states. While analysts predicted routine outcomes, the actual numbers were about to challenge every existing political expectation. At that same moment, a 2-month-old conflict between Iran, the U.S., and Israel reached a breaking point. The focus shifted to the Strait of Hormuz, the precise geographic choke point that controls nearly 90% of India's liquefied petroleum gas. As the first election results arrived, India's domestic triumph collided with a global reality. The nation was redrawing its political map, while the energy arteries supplying its economy were being severed. The first shockwave came from the east. Mamata Banerjee had ruled West Bengal as an unshakable fortress for 15 years. By noon on May 4th, that control was gone. Banerjee lost her own seat in Bhabanipur to Suvendu Adhikari. Her party, the TMC, fell to 80 seats, leaving the BJP to form a government with a 207-seat majority. In Tamil Nadu, the decades-old duopoly between the DMK and AIADMK was broken. Actor Joseph Vijay and his new TVK party claimed 108 seats, establishing a new political direction driven by first-time voters. Kerala saw its ideological citadel fall as the Left Front lost to the UDF. Simultaneously, Assam maintained its political direction, granting the NDA a third straight term under the leadership of Himanta Biswa Sarma. These shifts resulted in a massive consolidation of power. By the time the sun rose on May 5th, 78% of India's population lived in states governed by the BJP or NDA. While victory parades began in Delhi, Iranian drones struck the port of Fujairah. 3 Indian nationals working at the port were injured, marking the first confirmed Indian casualties of the Gulf War. The economic response was immediate. Crude oil prices climbed to $118 a barrel by midnight. This spike threatened to pull India's GDP growth below 6% and force a postponement of planned interest rate cuts. Families across India felt the impact within hours. Shortages in natural gas forced fertilizer plants to slow production, while 300 million homes faced immediate LPG rationing. While leaders declared sweeps on stage, truck drivers in Gujarat were staring at empty fuel pumps. A domestic political victory had met an immediate global economic threat. New Delhi responded with a policy of strategic neutrality. The government condemned the violence without naming specific nations, ensuring that energy flows from Russia and critical partnerships with the Gulf remained intact. This wasn't a passive response. Using lessons from 2025's Operation Sindoor, the Navy increased escorts for Indian flag tankers, protecting fuel interests without escalating the regional conflict. Even when Nepal lodged a protest over the tri-junction at Lippu Lake Pass, India maintained its position. The Ministry of External Affairs rejected the claim, ensuring the historical pilgrimage route remained open and secure. India protected its sovereignty on 2 fronts simultaneously. The nation managed a global energy crisis and a border provocation without firing a single shot on its own soil. The political gains of these 24 hours provided the center with the federal strength required to push through long-stalled national security and infrastructure reforms. These gains exist alongside significant losses. Regional political diversity was reduced, and millions of families are now navigating a period of fuel rationing and economic uncertainty. The data points reflect human stories. Ramesh Das in Siliguri finally saw the change he spent 15 years voting for, while in Patna, mothers are praying their last cooking gas cylinder will last through the week. This dual crisis showed a nation capable of managing an internal democratic shift and a global military emergency at the same time. India proved it could maintain its strategic interests during a period of extreme global volatility. Questions now shift to the future. The reopening of the Strait of Hormuz remains uncertain, and it is unclear if the new political voices in the South will ultimately strengthen or fragment national unity. The immediate count is over, and the political map has been redrawn. But for a nation now tested by both ballots and missiles, the real work of maintaining this momentum has only just begun.